Om Sadashiva-Samarambham Shankaracharya-Madhyamam Asmadacharya-Paryantam Vande Guru-Paramparam Shruti-Smriti-Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad-Padam Shankaram Loka-Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Krito Vande Bhagavantao Punah Punaha Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagini Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Today I will do the short and brief summary of chapter 10, Vibhuti Yoga chapter. As you know, this chapter 10 falls in the Madhyama Shatkam. The Gita is divided into 3 sections. The first 6 chapters is the Tvampada Shatkam, where we saw in great detail the nature of the Jiva. You and me, the individual, the nature of the individual. And now in the Madhyama Shatkam, we are beginning to see the Tatpadam nature, the nature of Ishvara, Ishvara Anugraha, Ishvara Upasana, Ishvara Swarupa. This is the Madhyama Shatkam. And then the Antima Shatkam, also called the Charama Shatkam, will highlight the Aikyam between the 2 Padams, Swampadam and the Tatpadam, the oneness. That is the Antima Shatkam. Now, when we see what is our understanding of Ishvara. The Upanishads define Ishvara as Jagat Karanam. But what kind of Jagat Karanam it is? We will find that initially we all start with this Eka Rupa Bhakti. I am a Jiva, I am born into this Jagat, and then as I live and experience the Jagat, the ups and downs, then I begin to feel helpless and I pray to an Ishvara. This is called a triangular format. Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara. Then what is my prayer? Rahimam, Pahimam, Hey Prabhu. So get me out of the situation. There is a sense of helplessness. So my understanding of Ishvara is someone residing in some loka, human like me, but superhuman. Omnipotent, intelligent and powerful, residing in some loka, who is able to bless me. This is called Eka Rupa Bhakti. Now, when we try to explore this understanding a little more, then we find that some questions will come up. Like, how can the supreme, all-pervading Ishvara be confined to one loka? Is that Ishvara only Mahavishnu residing on Anantanaga Sesha? Or is it the meditative Shiva in Kailas? Or the dancing Nataraja? Or is it feminine gender in Shakti Rupena? So all these questions will challenge our mind. And this is where the definition of, the technical definition we saw in the Upanishad helps us out. Ishvara is Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karanam. What does that mean? Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karanam is, Ishvara is the Nimitta Karanam, that is the intelligent cause, and the Upadana Karanam, the material cause. Now, the topic of Ishvara was already introduced in chapter 7, the beginning of this Madhyama Shatkam, right? Where we saw the twofold nature of Ishvara, para, apara, nirguna, saguna, then Sakama Bhakti, Nishkama Bhakti, all twofold we saw that. Yeah. So, and that definition we are exploring further in chapter 10. Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karanam is, by the power of Maya, the Parabrahma Supreme Reality manifests as the Panchamahabhutas, and then it derives into the Prapancha, Panchabhautikam universe. Yeah. So here, this is the second level of understanding of Ishvara, the higher understanding. So mind has expanded beyond the Eka Rupa Bhakti to Aneka Rupa Bhakti, or Virat Bhakti, or Vishwarupa Bhakti. Yeah. So at this stage, this Bhakta, called the Virat Bhakta, is able to worship the entire creation, all the divine manifestations, and not just, his Bhakti is not limited to one form or at one time and place. You know, should I worship Krishna only on Janmashtami, Sri Rama only on Ramanavami, you know, on this tithi, at this place, with this vidhi, you know? Is that Ishvara, or Ishvara something more than all this? So this Madhyama stage of Bhakti is what is highlighted in this Madhyama Shatkam and in the chapter 10. Yeah. And so Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karanam. Nimitta Karanam refers to what? Parabrahma, the Nirguna Parabrahma. And Upadana Karanam is the material cause, referring to the Apara nature or the creative power of Maya, by which the Supreme Being, the one, becomes the many. The one manifests as the many. Yeah. So this is the Madhyama Bhakti that we saw. And Abhinna means what? Non-separate. Remember the example of the spider we saw, Yatha Urnanabihi Srijate Grinhati Cha. The Mundaka Upanishad gives the example of the spider, Urnanabihi, which creates its web, and the material is also inside its own body. So the Upanishad says the Srishti is like that. Ishvara is both the Nimitta Karanam, intelligent cause of the Jagat, and the material cause. Yeah. So this is a higher understanding where the mind has expanded and there is a greater level of maturity. Yeah. Now, what is the consequence of this understanding? The understanding is that if there is an effect, you know, like the famous pot, yeah, if there is an effect, pot is karyam, pot is effect, pot is product. But really there is only clay. So karyam is not different from karanam. It is karanam alone that has appeared as a karyam. Yeah? So the pot is really clay in the shape. Actually, there is no pot. There is no entity. Second entity called pot is not there. There is only clay. Yeah? Pot is Namarupa. So also ornaments are the karyam effect. Ornaments are really gold. A golden bangle is gold, essentially. Yeah? Bangle is only Namarupa. So extending the logic, we can say that the Jagat, which has manifested by the power of Maya, is a karyam. So the Jagat is also none other than the Karanam, Brahma. Yeah? That is the subtle point which is to be understood here. Yeah? And hence, in this chapter 10, we see that the whole Jagat is nothing but a bunch of Namarupas, word and meaning. Namarupa, including body, mind, take anything. And that is why Sri Krishna has enumerated a list of divine glories. All of them, each one of them is a Namarupa. Yeah? But all of them belong to the one source, the supreme reality, Parabrahma. It is the Para Prakriti which is manifested as any and every Namarupa in the Jagat. Yeah? So Ishvara has manifested as the Jagat. Yeah. Then what? What is the consequence of this? The consequence is this Virat Bhakta, devotee, is able to worship the entire creation as Ishvara. Any event, any situation, any person, a talent, a skill, having something or not having something, everything is seen as the order of Ishvara. And hence the mind will be non-complaining, all accepting, non-resisting, and there will be that peaceful attitude. That is why this attitude is very well integrated in our culture. In the morning when we wake up, we seek pardon from earth, Mother Earth. Pada Sparsham Kshamasvami. When we have to dig some ground to build a house, there is a mantra for that, asking for forgiveness for digging into the Mother Earth. Yeah. And then when I want to bathe in the river, let's say, then I ask for forgiveness for, wanting to wash away the dirt in the river. Oh, Mother, pardon me. So this attitude, this Virat Bhakti attitude is very well integrated in our Sanatana Dharma. We see that we do Kanya Puja, Kumara Puja, Gaja Puja, Gomata Puja, Prithvi Puja. And puja to mountains, to rivers, it is all there. And now we are formally studying it as this Vibhuti Yoga chapter 10. Now the word Vibhuti means Visheshena Bhavanam. A special divine manifestation is called a Vibhuti. How did the Vibhuti come? By yoga. Vibhuti yoga. That yoga is Yoga Maya, the creative power of manifestation. Yeah? So we find that in this Vibhuti Yoga chapter 10, we are seeing all the glorious and wondrous manifestations related to the Shastra scriptures or related to a person or nature or a quality, internal Vibhutis or external Vibhutis. So that is the introduction. Now, this chapter, the first 3 verses, Bhagavan introduces the topic of Vibhuti Yoga and says, who else can talk about my glory other than me? The rishis, or even the manus, administrators for this Manvantara, nobody can talk completely about my glory other than me, because they are all avaram. Avara means later. They were born of my sankalpa, and hence they cannot know me tattvataha. Yeah? That was 1 to 3. Yeah? Then we saw in 4 and 5, Bhagavan lists the internal glories. We saw about 20 of them, buddhi, kshama, bhayam, abhayam, danam, etc. So we saw these internal glories there. Yeah? Even emotions, when we get angry, Swamiji will say when you get angry or fear, even that is a vibhuti. A stone cannot express emotions, yeah? But the very capacity to express an emotion is a divine vibhuti. And then after that, we come to those shlokas 8 to 11. Here come the important shlokas. 9, 10 and 11 are very important, where Bhagavan says, Aham sarvasya prabhavaha mattah sarvam pravartate. Everything has manifested from me. Yeah? And so the jnanis, the buddhaha, they worship me. Yeah? How do they worship me? Machchittaha, matkata pranaha, bodhayantah parasparam kathayantah cha, nityam tushyanti ramanti cha. They are ever reveling in talking about me, narrating my glory to others, discussing the vibhutis, yeah, doing japa of me. Yeah. So for them, what do I do? 10 and 11, very beautifully, Bhagavan says, Tesham aham buddhi yogam dadami. So for such Virat Bhaktas, what do? I will give them the buddhi yoga. I will kindle their intellects and arrange everything for them. Their yoga kshema. I'll arrange a guru. I'll arrange classes for Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasnam. I will remove the obstacles or lighten the obstacles on their path. What for? For the final level of bhakti. For the ultimate understanding, which is Arupa Jnana Bhakti. Yeah? So Ekarupa Bhakti has expanded to Vishwarupa Bhakti, and Vishwarupa Bhakti is to be elevated to the highest stage of Eka Jnana Bhakti. And what bhakti is that? That bhakti is that all that is here is Ishvara. See, we can worship Ishvara in a variety of manifestations, but to understand that Ishvara alone is there, that is yet another level higher. Yeah? It is like, the wake up. I go to night, at night I go to sleep and dream. Now, in my dream world, if there is a Zoom session, then my mind has become the dream teacher, the dream students, the dream topic, the dream. Everything in the dream has come from where? From the waker's mind. Yeah? So this Arupa Bhakti is that all that is here is Ishvara. The Ishvara's mind has manifested as the entire Jagat, and then it folds back also into the Ishvara. Yeah? We saw the cycles of appearance and resolution earlier. So that is the Arupa Bhakti, and Bhagavan says, Aham Nashayami. Yeah, I destroy the darkness of ignorance by lighting the lamp of wisdom. Yeah, that means I will reveal myself, Krishna says, in their hearts. Whose hearts? These Virat Bhaktas' hearts. I will reveal myself in their hearts as the Atma Tattvam. And they will gain Atma Jnanam. Tesham eva anukampartam ahamadjnanajam tamaha nashayami atma bhavastah jnanadipena bhasvata. 10 and 11 are those very, very important shlokas. Yeah? So that is the highest level of understanding that was pointed out. Now, Arjuna expresses a request from 12 to 18 shlokas. What is this request? He says, Krishna, I cannot meditate on the whole universe. Meditation on Nirguna Brahma is very difficult because it is Nirakara, Akarta, Abhokta. So, you tell me how I can meditate on you. Keshu keshu cha bhaveshu chintyaha asi he Bhagavan maya. By me, how am I to focus on your nature? Yeah. So, hey Yogin, now you please Vistarena, in detail, Bhuyaha Kathaya. You again give me some Alambanam, some anchor. And in earlier chapters, Bhagavan has already given a few anchors. I am Agni, I am Mantra, I am desire, a few, I am the sun and the moon. But now it says Vistarena, in a more detailed manner, you give me some more Alambanams. Yeah? Then in response to Arjuna's request, from 19 onwards, Bhagavan graciously agrees and says, I will give you a sample. Yeah? Sample, hey Kurushreshta, na asti antaha vistarasya me, because there is no end to my glories. And so Bhagavan starts with shloka number 20. What did we see? Starting with the highest Nirguna glory. Aham Atma Gudakesha Sarva Bhutashayastitaha Aham Adischa Madhyancha Bhutanam Anta Evacha. So Bhagavan says, know me as consciousness. Know me as that Chit. What is Chit? Chit is the sentience. The sentience that makes my gross and subtle body glow. Like electricity, we saw that example, no? Electricity is all pervading, but only when it flows through a bulb will the filament glow. So our Sukshma Shariram is like the filament that glows when it reflects the sentience of that Chaitanya. And that is pointed out in shloka number 20. I am that all-pervading sentience which glows in the Sukshma Shariram. So know me as the indwelling Atma in all. Yeah? In all means all sentient beings. Yeah? Then from 21 onwards, 21 to 38, Bhagavan enumerates the various Saguna glories. Yeah? We saw so many stories connected with these glories. No, stories like Samudra Mathanam, Vamana Avatara, Prahlada, then Ganga Avataranam, Bhrigu, Narada. So many highlights were given from the Shastras, and some are the natural glories. All, of course, limited to Bharat Desha, about 75. 75 glories to coincide with 75th year of independence. We can say that. And this shloka number 20 has the Para Prakriti glory. And 21 to 38 has the list of Apara Prakritis. That is what Arjuna wants, because he wants a Nama Rupa, a crutch for the mind to dwell upon. Yeah? And here we see this updated chart of Hema, and where we see the 75 vibhutis, categorized. She's categorized it very nicely as avatars, then from the Vedas, then Meru and Himalayas as a mountain, then some animals which have glories in terms of power and strength, yeah, or who were born from Samudra Mathanam. Then the natural celestial bodies, sun, moon, constellations, mantra, Gayatri, then the Akshara, then the semi-gods, the devatas who are empowered by you, the supreme reality, then the month, Margashirshaha, the season, Vasantaha, then the inner micro universe, the qualities like Shama, knowledge, Vadaha, courage, memory, intelligence. Upanishad at one point says you can even take your eye, EYEI, meditate on the eye and see what a powerful organ it is, how it functions. Yeah? Even science, modern science cannot explain how we are experiencing the world in the mind. How the light rays reflected from an external object like a flower goes into my mind and forms a vritti. How does that happen? There is no scientific explanation for that. Yeah? The thought in my mind corresponding to an external object, the vritti, meditate on that. That is a sukshma vibhuti in itself. So like that, we find that a whole range of apara prakritis, sentient, insentient, and animal, person, all that was shown here as the various glories. Yeah? Then finally, in 39, Krishna completes the list and says, Yachapi sarva bhutanam bijam tat aham he Arjuna. Na tadasti vina yatsyat maya bhutan characharam. So again, Bhagavan comes back to the Nirguna glory of Chaitanya. And what is that? Here it is the Sat aspect. There can be no Bhutam, Chara or Achara, without the Bijam. I am the source. I am the causeless cause who is supporting everything in the universe. So there we find that Bhagavan is referring to himself as the Paramarthika Satyam. In shloka number 20, it was the vibhuti of sentience. And here it is the vibhuti of Satyam, which is Nityam. Satyam, Nitya Vastu, That is the Sat aspect. Now, we should not think that Sat and Chit are different vibhutis. No. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma is another definition given in the Taittiriya Upanishad. Satyam Jnanam Anantam is nothing other than Sat Chit Anandam. Asti Bhati Priyam. There are these three sets of words. So Sat is Chit and Chit is Sat. So Sat is pure existence. I gave you the example, can you have a cloth without the thread? No. So the thread is the Satyam or the Atma for the cloth. The wood is the Atma or Satyam for the table. Gold is the Adhara for ornaments. And water is the basis for waves. So that is being pointed out here, that I am the Bijam for everything in the universe. And then Bhagavan says, Na antaha asti mama divyanam. There is no end to my glories, Arjuna. Yeah. And what I have told you, yeah, I have given you a sample. Yeah, Uddeshataha. It's just a random sample I have given you, although it's quite a few, 75 apara prakriti glories, and one or two is the same one is a para prakriti glory in 20 and 39. Yeah. So then Bhagavan says that you can meditate on any of these. Then if you want to extend in 41 shloka, what does Bhagavan says? Yat yat vibhuti matsattvam srimad urjitam evava tattadeva avagaccha tvam mama tejaha amsha sambhavam. Yeah. That is, whatever you see wondrous in the world. Today they have discovered atomic energy. That you can see, that is a vibhuti. No, vibhuti you can undertake, you can add to the list. Then you can add the river Nile and Amazon and pyramids, and anything that you see is powerful, is got some beauty and some wonder in the world. You can keep extending the list, endless. Then in the last shloka, Bhagavan says, Athava bahuna etena jnatena kim tava he Arjuna. By knowing this list, yeah, athava, or let's put it this way, yeah, let me say that all these vibhutis, however much you extend it, you will not know all my glories. Yeah, you will know a few more. So what have you accomplished? Not much, because you will not know me tatvataha in totality by only extending the number of glories. So then what to do? Vishtabhya aham idam kritsnam jagat eka amshena sthitaha. Then Bhagavan says, up to now, what have I told you? I am in the Ganga, I am in the Ashwatha, I am in Gayatri, I am in Prahlada, I am in Bhrigu, I am in Naradaha, I am in Sagaraha, I am in all these, Himalaya. Yeah? So, endless they are. And now, understand that this entire universe, Kritsnam Jagat, is only born of a part of my Tejas. Tejaha Amsha Sambhavam. Yeah? It is just a part of me. Yeah? I pervade this part, but I am beyond all this. Yeah? So what Bhagavan is trying to say here is, this Jagat that one experiences, this objective Jagat, the Jagat that is manifest, yeah, that is only a part of the infinite Parabrahma. That is the Vyavaharika Satyam, is only a speck, an amsha, a fraction, infinitesimal fraction of Paramarthika Satyam. So even the Jagat that we were taking to be infinite, sentient, insentient are there, movable, immovable, remote, at hand are there, manifest, unmanifest. All this even put together is just a fraction of my Tejas. Bhagavan is saying in the last shloka. So here comes the crux of Vedanta. Bhagavan says, I'm telling you that God is in the creation. Fine, I'm in the Ganga, Himalayas, ityadi. But now you have to understand that the creation is in me. Yeah? Not only I am in each of these divine manifestations, but the whole creation is in me. Yeah? Again, the example of the clay pot. Small example we can take is that clay is not in pot. Clay is not in pot, but pot is in clay. Yeah? That is, the pot is made of clay. That is the shift in the understanding. That is, all the ornaments are Namarupa, but really they are in clay. They have their being in, ornaments have their being in gold. And all the pots and lids, the clay world has its being in clay. So Bhagavan is saying, understand that the whole creation is in me. I am that Paramarthika Satyam. And what you are seeing is just 1/4. But 3/4 is the limitless Paramarthika reality. Infinite, unknowable. Even scientists, they are saying that there is something like dark matter. We cannot know what it is. And so they are unable to reach out to that. So that is the nature of Tattva. And also this Jagat that we see, the Jagat that we see, it is conditioned in time and space. Yeah? Any Namarupa you take, it is conditioned in time. If something is here, it is not elsewhere. If it is there today, it won't be there, after some time in the same form. So the manifest universe, Jagat, is conditioned in time and space, and that is an amsha of my glory. And I am beyond time and space. I am the Paramarthika reality. Now, there is one way to understand that, and that is in the Mandukya Upanishad, the example is given of a rupee. Today we have a coin, right? A 1 rupee coin we have. But I don't know if we have the 25 paisa coins. Maybe no more, no? But we used to have it, right? So what is 1/4 of a rupee? 25 paisa, right? And 1/2 is 2 quarters, 50 paisa. 3 quarters is 75 and 4 quarters is 1. So in the Mandukya Upanishad, the commentators write beautifully that can you have 1/4 without 1? No. Can you have half a rupee without 1? No. So Bhagavan says, know me as the one. And this universe is 1/4, a quarter, an amsha. But that amsha cannot be there without the whole, and that is the one. Just as you can't have 1/4 of a rupee without the one, which is lending itself to becoming the 1/4. That is the idea here in the last shloka. That is, know me as the supreme source and reality, and I am the whole, the Paramarthika Satyam, which is lending existence to this fractional, infinitesimal, Vyavaharika Satyam, that is the Jagat. So, Arjuna, God is in the world, fine, but now you understand the reverse. World is in God. World is in God. And we have seen some shlokas about this also. So this is called the Jnana Bhakti, the Parama Arupa Jnana Bhakti. Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prapatyate Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sadurlabha. We saw the shloka on the wise person. After many births, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prapatyate. The one who knows me Tattvataha, in totality. My complete glory is this Jnani, whose vision is what? Vasudevaha Sarvam Iti, who sees only the essential Tattvam everywhere. It is like I see waves, but I don't only see waves. I see the essential water. I see the water underlying all the waves. And that is the vision of the jnani. And such a jnani is Durlabha, such a Mahatma. And another shloka also we had, Yomam Pashyati Sarvatra Sarvam Chamai Pashyati, chapter 6. The one who is able to see the all in the one Tattvam and the one Tattvam in everything is a jnani. So Vishwarupa Bhakti or this Madhyama Bhakti, Virat Bhakti is about seeing what? The one in all, right? We are seeing the divine in everything. Yeah. In time, in death, in an animal, in a bird, Garuda, in a Maharishi, all these various manifestations. Yeah. But can we see the all in the one? The entire creation in the one. And hence, this shloka number 42 is a bija shloka. Bija shloka means it is going to expand into chapter 11. And chapter 11 is the Vishwarupa Darshana chapter, where Bhagavan is going to show the cosmic form to Arjuna. Yeah? Arjuna says, okay, Krishna, you have shown me so many divine manifestations you have narrated, but I want to see them all in you. So the cosmic form is that in which Bhagavan is going to show all these things: time, mrityu, birds, animals, rishis, wicked people, Duryodhanas, Pandavas, everything in the cosmic form is going to be seen. Yeah? And that is the next chapter, which we will do in the next session. Oh. स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीमहीषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ